Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your great support always. I'm so grateful for your continued support to this channel. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Things are not going as William Ruto planned it before. Remember one thing that I want you to understand in this video. When Rigathi Gachagua was being impeached, the crowd had already migrated from William Samoei Ruto. And so, by impeaching Rigathi was just to add another salt to those Kenyans who felt like they were betrayed by William Samoei Ruto. Most of the time, we have tried to say about how the mountain is squeezing William Ruto into a tight corner. But remember, it is not only Mount Kenya region, but also we are having several regions across the Republic of Kenya that don't want to listen to William Ruto's lies. So William Ruto had planned that immediately the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua was going to be finalized, then he was going to rush and start these roadside rallies so that he can be popular. On the same note, the man had planned to have these church fundraisings all over, left, right, center, across the Republic of Kenya. Because one thing that William Ruto knew was, number one, through these roadside rallies, through these donations and contribution and arambe's in churches, are going to make him again to be popular. Immediately, the demonstration of the Gen Zs, of course, he managed in a way that he tapped Raila Odinga from the opposition to rescue him from the wrath of the Gen Zs. You do remember when William Ruto dissolved his cabinet, he, of course, withdrew the Finance Bill 2024 financial year, and even he reached an extent of pleading with the Kenyans that he was going to do what they are asking for. But William Ruto has failed in an extent that now removing Rigathi Gachagua is like adding another salt from the injured wound. Remember one thing. As we speak, William Ruto is busy trying to lobby the Mount Kenya region behind Kindiki Kithure, which it is not so. So some individuals are saying that Rigathi Gachagua walked out with almost Mount Kenya region voters, all of them. But remember, at that time, Rigathi Gachagua was being impeached. Remember one thing, the Mount Kenya had migrated from William Ruto long time ago. So pale, Rigathi Gachagua alikuwa tu wa kusil that movement against William Ruto. On the same note, I want you to listen to details. How William Ruto is seriously struggling to put Kindiki Kithure on the face of Mount Kenya region. And not only that, on the face of of course, Kenyans. Because he said, reason why they are impeaching Rigathi Gachagua is because Rigathi Gachagua is portraying himself as a tribal leader. So we want to see if Kindiki Kithure will went an extra mile of covering what William Ruto wants, that now the deputy president must be across the Republic of Kenya, because he wants the deputy president who is popular across the Republic of Kenya, not the mountain alone. But before we watch that detail, or of course an inclusive details, before we watch, ensure you like the video. When you like the video, you automatically support the work that I'm doing in this channel, because sometimes you watch the video and you forget liking the video. So this is just a reminder, as you watch, ensure you like the video. Let us listen to this video.
Now, the battle for the control of Mount Kenya region politics now pits Deputy President Kithure Kindiki against his predecessor Rigathi Gachagua in the region's political matrix. Political alliances are quietly emerging as top politicians seek to have a grip on the region ahead of the 2027 election. President William Ruto, with his new deputy, now face the hard task of galvanizing the region that catapulted him to presidency in 2022. NTV's political affairs reporter Vincent Odor tells us more.
The impeachment of the second Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and the assumption of office by Professor Kithure Kindiki has made Mount Kenya region erupt into political activities. With Kindiki as the second in command in the Kenya Kwanza administration, Mount Kenya East is now at the center of the region's political activities, which have always been dominated by Mount Kenya West. The latest change of guard has seemingly shaken the mountain in one way or another.
President mwenye amekalia kiti sahi ambaye ni William Samoei Ruto ajue hatukuongea hivyo wakati alikuwa naomba kura. Ni hivyo maana tukasema sisi mahali tuonyesha na Gachagua akituonyesha njia, hiyo ndio njia tutafuatilia. Na mimi sioni tukivutia hii serikali.
Kingpin inaligana ni nani yako kwa serikali, ni serikali gani iko. Serikali ile iko ni ya Kenya Kwanza. Kingpin siwezi sema ni Rigathi ya shaisha kisiasa.
President William Ruto's move to have Gachagua replaced by a person from the same region signified his intention to try and contain the overwhelming support he had from the region in the 2022 election. However, governance expert Professor Gitile Naituli argues the mountain is now slippery for Ruto.
The mountain left William Ruto a long time ago. In fact, that's why Gachagua was impeached. Gachagua was impeached because the president has intelligence that the mountain is not there. The mountain is not there because the promises that UDA made or the president made to the people of Kenya, not just to the mountain, because the mountain is tied to the country, most of those, they don't see them as having been fulfilled. Gachagua was within the government without the Mount Kenya people with him. And that's why it was so easy to remove him.
On his part, political analyst Professor Macharia Munene argues that the William Ruto Kithure Kindiki ticket will not rescue Ruto from losing the mountain.
It is a non-starter in the first place, mainly because Ruto had lost the mountain long before the Gachagua issue became an issue, because of the perception that his policies are anti-people and the kind of bulldozing things that don't make sense. And so people gave up on him long before. So having Kindiki the ticket or anybody else will not help, because it is no longer a question of personalities.
Of late, besides Gachagua seeking to mend fences with former President Uhuru Kenyatta, he has been associating with a section of opposition coalition Azimio, led by Kalonzo Musyoka, a move seen as a plot to elbow Ruto out of the region in 2027.
That alliance will strengthen Azimio, because I can tell you this, right now, Gachagua has a voice within the mountain, which he didn't have until he was impeached.
And so he has a lot of sympathy votes around. That does not mean that they will translate into votes for Kalonzo or whoever, because it depends on why they are very angry. Then they are not very angry because Gachagua is not there. They are angry because of the policies. So Kalonzo may want to get Gachagua's support for what it is worth, and it might be worth some votes here and there, but it's very hard to say. Right now, the mountain has yet to decide which way to go.
Uhuru was another person who was not popular in Mount Kenya. Okay, he was completely unpopular. But now, because of the way we were talking before the election, Uhuru now is listened. But right now, I think the Kingpin for Mount Kenya is Uhuru Kenyatta plus Gachagua. So whatever signed, Uhuru Kenyatta decided to support. That designed will have people of Mount Kenya fully behind it.
Uhuru has a slight edge, and it looks as if Uhuru and Ruto might gravitate towards each other in order to salvage something here and there. It does appear as if there is that attraction between Uhuru and Ruto in different ways. How that will play in the 2027 is another matter. mainly because it's kind of difficult to say, given the unhappiness in the region. Somebody might come up.
However, the question of who will be the kingpin of the mountain to give the much needed political direction interests top politicians in the country as they scheme to have such a person on their side. But for the residents, it appears it will be one who will serve their interests.
Kwa wakati hii hakuna mtu Kingpin mwingine anaweza organiza Kikuyu, ni Gachagua tu peke yake.
Currently, we still hold Rigathi Gachagua as a senior most politician in this region, but the kingpin is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and that one is undisputed.
Kingpin siwezi sema ni Rigathi. Rigathi ashaisha kisiasa, alishindwa na siasa na ameenda nyumbani. Sasa mwenye ako kwa siasa ni Kindiki.
Gachagua tried when he was deputy president to make himself kingpin of Mount Kenya without his success. But what has happened is the impeachment process has cleansed him. All his carelessness, his total lack of emotional intelligence, all that is now forgiven. Now, people will listen to Gachagua, and anybody who thinks that won't happen does not understand the mountain. First, the people of Mount Kenya generally don't like unfairness. That is also why they supported, part of why they supported William Ruto. They did not like the way Uhuru Kenyatta treated William Ruto.
The people of the mountain are said to be the most highly educated voters and largely don't vote for emotion. The scramble for the Mount Kenya soul continues. Vincent Odur, NTV.
So, William Samoei Ruto is a man who is in trouble. And he doesn't understand how he's going to distance himself from the mess himself he created. Remember when William Ruto was going for this presidency, he used narratives. Hustler, Mama Mboga, and Boda Boda. When he was sworn in the office, the man distanced himself from this Mama Mboga, Boda Boda, and Hustler. Then when these hustlers are speaking, or rather talking and say something that is sensible, the man decided to tell the hustlers, keep quiet. I know what I'm doing. He has been always saying that the government is running is successful, but we don't see the positivity of his government. So one thing that William Ruto does not know is that the narrative he had failed terribly, starting all the way from Mount Kenya region to Mombasa, to Siaya, to Western, all over. But he is being told, but he's not listening. So for him to remove Rigathi Gachagua, to make Kindiki Kithure to be popular, it is not going to work, Kenyans. Because since Rigathi Gachagua was impeached, is there something positive that the people have benefited? Because we were told Rigathi Gachagua is the one who is blocking development. Is there something that you have received positive from Kindiki Kithure, because now Kindiki is not tribal? So William Ruto is eating in his own mess. And for William Ruto to survive, as much as the Mount Kenya has migrated from his government, remember one thing, also other regions, they are going to migrate. Because one thing that I felt from William Ruto's government is that it is them who usually come out to tell us how the economy is better. Not as we as Kenyans to come out to tell them that the economy is better. So it is so difficult for William Ruto to see the truth that is being told, that this is the reality. And again, his sympathizers are not telling him the truth, that Mr. President. But again, here we are unpopular. To be popular, we must do this and this and this. We must work for the people. Some interest that we promised them. That is it. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Drop your opinion at the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you so much because of your great support. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing this video. Bye bye till you meet in another video.